Now students, we will try to understand applications of determinant. The first application of determinant is that we can find out the area of a triangle. Suppose if vertices of a triangle are given to you as x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3, then area of triangle is equal to half of determinant formed by these vertices. So x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3, but since we have to make it a square matrix determinant, so we will use 1, 1, 1. So area of triangle is given by half of, and this is the formula for finding out the area of a triangle, right? And in class 10th you have studied one formula for calculating the area of triangle. If you will expand this, you will find the expansion same as half of x1 y2 minus y3 plus x2 y3 minus y1 plus x3 y1 minus y2, which is the formula that you studied in class 10th coordinate geometry. But few points to remember related to area are, first point is that the area is always considered as a positive quantity. Second point is the area of triangle. Suppose if you are given in question area of triangle, then and you are asked to find out the missing coordinate. So in that case, always consider the area with both positive and negative sign. Third thing, if area of triangle is given to you as 0, then we can conclude that the points are collinear, and it can be considered vice versa also. Means area of triangle is 0 if and only if the given points are collinear. This is the first application of determinant, to calculate the area of triangle. Second application of determinant is to find out the solution of the system of linear equation. Now, in order to find out the solution for the system of linear equation, we should know what is adjoint of a matrix. Adjoint of a matrix is again a matrix, and it is the transpose of the matrix obtained by replacing each element of the matrix by their cofactors. Suppose if I am given matrix A, so in that case what you will do, it is the transpose of the matrix obtained by replacing each element of the matrix by their cofactors. Means if cofactor of Aij is capital letter Aij, then matrix A, suppose if I assume any matrix A as A11, A12, A21, A22 of order 2, then adjoint of matrix A will be equal to, now see all the elements are replaced by their cofactors, capital A11, capital A12, capital A21, capital A22. Then transpose, the formula, the definition says the transpose of the matrix obtained by using the cofactors. So which will be equal to, now transpose everybody knows, interchanging rows with column, means it will be A11, A12 and then A21, A22. This is the method to obtain the adjoint of a matrix, and the same process will go on for order 3 matrix also. Now another theorem related to adjoint A, that is A into adjoint A is equal to adjoint A into A is equal to determinant A into I for any n-rowed matrix. If there are n rows in a matrix, so obviously you know it is a square matrix if we are dealing with determinant. So this is a very important principle, very important theorem that you have to keep in mind. Then another property related to adjoint is adjoint of A inverse is equal to, adjoint of A transpose is equal to adjoint A whole transpose. Means first of all calculate the transpose of matrix A, then find out the adjoint of it. The value of this will be equal to adjoint A first of all calculated and then transposed. Second property is adjoint of A into B. A into B is equal to adjoint B into adjoint A. See, again the reversal form is used here. In transpose also you were having this type of property. AB whole transpose is equal to B transpose into A transpose. Here we have adjoint of AB is equal to adjoint B into adjoint A. Now we will consider one example how to find the adjoint of a matrix. Suppose if I take any matrix A with elements P, Q, R, S like this. What we will do? We will find out the cofactors of each element. A11. So hiding the rows and columns we will get S. Alternately sign will change, it will be minus. Then A12 will be this, A21 is this, A22 is this. Now form adjoint A. So the formula says form the matrix of the cofactors and then transpose of it. So first of all we have written all the cofactors inside and then the transpose of it means S minus R like this and minus QP like this. Okay, so in this way we can find out the adjoint of any matrix. Now how the adjoint is helpful? Adjoint is helpful for us to find out inverse of any square matrix. So our next topic is inverse of a square matrix. To see, the inverse of any square matrix will exist only when the given matrix is non-singular. This term I have introduced earlier also. Non-singular matrix means determinant of that matrix is not equal to 0. If matrix B is inverse of matrix A, then A into B will be equal to B into A will be equal to I. The rule of inverse number or the function operated with the inverse always gives the identity. So this is the rule. Now one more thing A into adjoint A is equal to adjoint A into A is equal to determinant A into I. If I transpose or shift determinant A from here, so we are obtaining A into 1 upon determinant A into adjoint A is equal to I. According to our convenience, I have grouped. Now if you compare it with AB is equal to I, so what you found कि B is equal to 1 upon determinant A into adjoint A. And since B was inverse of matrix A, so it means this is the notation for inverse of matrix A. Now properties. First property on inverse. For any two non-singular matrices A and B, if we have non-singular matrices A and B, then first rule says कि AB whole inverse will be equal to B inverse into A inverse. See, again we are forming that reversal form. Then second property, inverse of a matrix is always unique. We will have only one inverse for a matrix. Third property, matrix A is invertible if and only if determinant A is not equal to 0. Means it is true both ways. If matrix A is invertible, determinant A should not be equal to 0. If matrix A is not equal to 0, then if determinant A is not equal to 0, then matrix A is invertible. Fourth property, transpose of A whole inverse is equal to A inverse transpose. Right? It works like the law of indices itself. And why we are studying inverses? So actually we are studying inverses to find out to check the consistency of a system of linear equation. Now consistency of a system of linear equation. Consistency means to find out whether the system of linear equation is having a solution or not. If a system of linear equation is given in the form of Ax is equal to B. A is a matrix of constant, X is a matrix of variable and B is a matrix of constant again. Then in that case, if determinant A is not equal to 0, then we can say that system of equation will always be consistent. and it will have unique solution. Second case, कि if suppose determinant A is not equal to, if determinant A is equal to 0, then what will happen? Then the system may or may not be consistent. So in that case, how to proceed? So we will find out adjoint A into B. Now for adjoint A into B, again two cases arise. First case, if adjoint A into B is not equal to 0, then system is inconsistent and it will have no solution. And if adjoint A into B is equal to 0, then system is consistent and it will have infinite solution. Right? Now, on the basis of all these topics, we will consider one example. See, first question. Use matrix method to solve the system of linear equation. To see the system of linear equation I am given. It is expressed as Ax is equal to B, where A is equal to this matrix, X is equal to XY, B is equal to constants 5, 9. Now what we will do, our first step is find out determinant A if it is equal to 0. Now here we are getting it as equal to 0. So it means what? This matrix is singular. And if the matrix is singular, then there are two cases. Adjoint A into B may be equal to O or it may not be equal to O. Now adjoint A. Adjoint A, you know how to find out adjoint A. So I have calculated adjoint A here. Now what we will do, we will find out adjoint A into B. Now adjoint A into B I am getting as not equal to 0. It is not equal to a null matrix. So if it is not equal to null matrix, it means the system will be inconsistent. And if suppose I would have got it as equal to O, the null matrix, then we would have said that system is consistent and it has infinite solution. Another example for consistency, suppose if I have taken this example of equation. Again it is expressed as Ax is equal to B, A, X and B are located. Now we will find determinant A. Determinant A is 7, not equal to 0 means the matrix is non-singular. And if the matrix is non-singular, system has unique solution. Matrix A is invertible. Therefore, X is equal to A inverse B means the formula applicable is 1 upon determinant A into adjoint A into B. So first of all, we will find out adjoint A. Then we will find out X. So X is equal to 1 upon determinant A into adjoint A into B, which is equal to 1 upon 7 into this, which is equal to 6 upon 5. Now what is X? X is actually a matrix of X and Y. So xy is equal to 6, 5. It means your answer is X is equal to 6, Y equal to 5. This is the way how we proceed for finding out the solution of a system of linear equation. The same process follows for the matrix of order 3 also.